Hello everyone, welcome back, or to those of you just joining, welcome, period, full stop. Had a bit of an error, I guess, with the last stream. Didn't exactly work out. But we're here now. So of course here at the historical Daytona International Speedway for the road course variant. Of course this is round 2, the Bud Light Grand Prix at Daytona. For those of you wondering what happened in round 1, I was not there. I'm now commentating here, and I should be commentating for the rest of the season. Of course, this season's schedule is every Saturday at, I believe, 3 p.m. OST or 4 p.m. EST. Of course, we're running a little behind today. Had a bit of an error with the lobby, but we're all good now. Just waiting for all the drivers to be set. We should be going in just a few minutes here.
We are, unfortunately, delaying this race a little bit. Didn't plan on it, but...
We will still get all 53 laps in.
Yes. 20 more seconds and I'll start the race. Are we all ready?
The driver's going to need a deep breath here. I do have all the drivers muted just so my stream is a little clearer. We will do interviews during cautions and at less entertaining parts of the race per se. But yes. I don't want the feed to be cluttered.
Alright, I'm starting the race. It's also worth noting that our points leader is in first. Medic has 50 points, Bush has 40, Hines has 35. Hines is ahead of Bush. Let's see how that plays out.
Of course, Medic being in first and also having the most points on the season so far, only being 1 week in, about to be 2, as we are green and underway here at Daytona. Hopefully we get a clean start, no mistakes here, no self-spins. It's a bit of a bunch up there into turn 1. Medic taking it safe, I reckon.
So Medic, your leader right now, following Rampage and Bush now in third.
Everyone kind of keeping a nice gap together. If Rampage can keep this kind of gap, he should be able to make a move into the chicane. But I don't know if he'll hold it to the flag to lead the first lap of the race.
Medic in that bright blue PCG car, representing partly cloudy game.
Ooh, bold move into the chicane that's going to send Rampage off. And it's also going to give the lead to Bush Brothers fan. As Rampage goes down into last.
I tried it. It didn't work out.
Obviously that chicane is very narrow, so it's going to be hard for drivers to try and...
No, you need to clear the car if you want to overtake there.
But now Bush has to
make the radio there.
Lead.
Are we going to see more moves like that, or you think the driver... Oh, self-spin!
Oh, collects. Who is that? Outlaw. Oh, they saved it.
Gonna keep it green.
Most of them saved it. I'm gonna keep it green.
Husky might have to start thinking about a alternate strategy to get him back in the race. I don't know if we're going to see all too many cautions. I mean, these guys are going to get separated, I reckon, just a little bit towards the middle part of the race, and if there's not a caution by then, we'll have to see if Husky can just work it back on pure pace. So of course, Medic no longer leading after that incident going into the chicane on lap 1. What I find interesting is he won the race. He did not have the most laps or the second most laps. Well, tied for second, but was put third in the official standings at 15 laps led. The leader, the most laps led that race was Donner Mouse with 22. Not a lot of laps led. I mean, it was quite a long race, but it was very evenly distributed. Only one guy who did not lead a single lap.
With
Three
Pokemon,
wide.
Rampage and Outlaw.
Going into turn 1, now make it 2 wide. And they're all going to make it through.
Here.
That's the stuff you want, that Husky wants to see, I'm sure. Medic worked his way up to
off
second.
In the grass. Another one car.
I think Medic might try a move here. If he doesn't get it here, he might do what Husky did to him on lap 1 and send one up the inside. Or maybe go around the outside of the chicane. We'll go on board with him now. See if he's got enough slipstream here to make the move.
Feel it spreading out a little bit now.
He might try. He might be able to get past him before the chicane to see if he can get ahead. He does get ahead here. And will take the lead back from Bush Brothers fan. Can't be happy about that. Let's see if Medic can now run away with this one. Well, we got a gaggle of 4 cars near the back. 4th on through 7th.
Big pack in the back. Husky, Outlaw, Pokemon, and Rampage.
3 wide once again into the tri-oval.
Very close racing from the back of the pack. Bush now takes the lead from Medic.
Husky slowly working his way up. A big incident there. Oh, 2 cars almost spent at the same time. That would have been a caution for sure. Husky very nicely working his way back up through the pack. Very impressed to see this. Back into 4th. Maybe can get 3rd this lap.
Medic around. 1 car.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Kind of spins in front of the pack there. Hard to get all the way through.
Looks like he saves it though. Medic didn't lose too much time, so.
Still in the pack, but you got to think he didn't lose too much time, but now he's got all these cars in front of him. That's another mistake that could be potentially made. He's in this huge gaggle of cars that's like all over the place right now. And these guys' braking points are probably a little later or earlier than his, so he's got to be conscious of that. So it's a little more than time. But, Bush Brothers fan now taking the lead. And was that a self-spin by Medic? Very uncharacteristic.
It looked like a self-spin from my view.
No 3 wide into the tri-oval this time. Might see some action as things get bunched up towards the front of the field now. It seems that's where the chaos is. Let's watch Medic work his way back up through the field. Pokemon and Outlaw going at it.
Bush in the grass.
Bush in the grass. Hines takes the lead now. You might see Husky take advantage of Bush in the grass as well. You got to remember that the grass stays on the tires for just a little bit longer than you like. But no, Hines goes wide. Now Bush Brother back in the lead.
Medic spins, loses time. Now in last. Unfortunately.
More mistakes. Can't be having that if you're trying to win a race. Oh, this might be 3 wide going into the chicane. That's not going to work. Pushes Hines into the lead. Might try and take himself with him. Bush Brothers fan lets him through. Just got to back off there as he runs wide though.
A lot of the grass.
A lot of turf there. A lot of turf that could damage the underside.
Don't cut that much of the track.
Officials not happy with the Bush Brothers fan. Now Hines with an 0.8 second lead. That's quite the gap. There's no slipstream from that distance. It's about 0.7 of a second you want. But of course, I believe Bush Brothers fan with his overtake is just going to use some of that up. And the gaggle of cars continues. No one really able to pull away. They keep making mistakes, getting caught back up by the field.
Trying to work together to catch up to the top two.
Yeah, a lot of the fighting is stopped. Bush Brothers fan repasses Hines for the lead. Hines runs wide a little bit. A lot of cars run wide there. Kind of like follow the leader. They're all trying to copy the guys up front. And when you do that, you know, if they make a mistake, you're going with them now. Maybe see a move into turn one here by Hines. Maybe before turn one. It's now side by side going into turn one. We'll see who comes out the beneficiary, and it's going to be Hines for now.
Great pass from Hines.
Textbook.
Bush has a run, looking to pass Hines.
Up the inside, very
the
aggressive. They come
inside.
together. Is Bush gonna... Yes, he does. He does make the move. Husky might be able to take advantage of Hines' misfortune now. These two have been going back and forth for the majority of this race. Medic's been up front a few times, but just can't seem to avoid those mistakes. Now Husky looks up the inside of Hines.
In the wall. Catches the tire barrier there.
Husky saw the inside of Hines there, just couldn't make the move stick. Of course, it's a bit bumpy there on the transition to the oval part of this racetrack. It's a lot of ground that Outlaw's going to have to make up now after that mistake.
Boost is on though, so should help him out a little bit.
Hines now side by side with Bush Brothers fan again. Is he going to try the outside move and make it work? Bush Brothers fan backed out last time. I don't know if he's going to have enough alongside. He's not.
Isaiah making another pass there.
You know, as these leaders fight, you got to remember the group catches back up to them. Is it worthwhile? I don't know. You know, to have the rest of the pack catch back up now, if either of these guys makes a mistake, they're going to get passed. Bush Brothers fan maybe looking down the inside. Hines is kind of going to block it, make his car very wide, about 2 times wider than it should be, and hold the lead. It's a very good defensive move there by Hines. Now we have the second pack between Husky and Medic. They're fighting quite hard right now as well. Bush Brothers friends and Hines side by side going into the chicane once more. Doesn't look like Hines wants any part of it. A little wide again. A huge tank slapper there. Gets a hold of it. He's going to fall back into the rest of the pack.
Please. What? Was there a 2-car? What happened? There has not been any cautions.
It seems like the rest of the pack worked together to catch back up to Bush Brothers fan. Now they're all getting a huge gaggle of cars in the back there between, looked like Medic, Pokemon, and Husky. And Medic has not been able to work his way up through the field like we saw Husky do earlier. Of course, Husky's fallen back and is now right in front of him, but they just can't do it. It seems like the rest of the crew here has gotten back up to pace, whereas maybe they were just on it from the start.
I'm gonna say this right now because I've been noticing it quite a bit. Don't cut too much of the chicane.
I think I saw at least 3 there. Might be able to defend this one, Bush Brothers fan, because Hines is going to try the outside move most likely again, but no, stays in line just a little bit longer, goes out wider, gets some of that clean air so he can cut back in and get a better run off. Bush Brothers fans, it has a little bit of a slide there, don't want to see that. Of course, you got to remember, this is more than just losing time when you slide, it's also killing the tires. It's going to make pulling off.
Rampage pushed off by Pokemon. Oh, another 1 car.
You gotta wonder if that was intentional or not. Maybe just a little bit of a mistake, but I'm sure either way, Rampage is not gonna be happy about that and will remember. Oh, Bush Brothers fan around now. What happened there?
Bush around. That was 2 cars were around right around the same time, I'd say.
One by one, they're both back in it now. Oh.
Rampage around again. I'm gonna call a caution. Slow down.
Got too many cars spinning.
Low to 80. Caution's out.
So of course we talked about the caution rules earlier, but I'll run back over them.
Road is open if you need to take it.
Once again, cautions will come out if 2 or more cars spin or crash out. Could be 2 cars involved in the same incident or 1 and 1. Pace laps will be done at 80 miles an hour, 128 kilometers per hour. The field will stay single file with a gap of half a second between each car during the restart. And the race will begin at the restart zone, which of course here's the Geico restart zone. And the race will begin with every car single file. Restart zones will be determined by the host and or official at every single given event. As we see Hines come into pit road now. It looks like everyone's going but Husky.
Husky stays out. You can speed it up to, actually no, keep that speed, Husky.
Not a lot of people like very low on fuel. Maybe they just want fresher tires. I don't know what the tire situation's looking like, of course. So it looks like Medic maybe shorted himself some tires here, or maybe less fuel. Maybe he didn't take fuel. Let's check in. Medic, how are you feeling?
The race in the car, just anything. How are you feeling?
Was that the thought? Get some track position? Was the thought to get some track position? Yeah. No? Well, look forward to the restart. Hopefully you can make a move here on Husky. Good luck.
Once you guys get to the chicane, you can start spacing out. Remember, half a second between each car. Restart zone is the Geico restart zone. Just like last race.
We go on board with Medic here for the restart, see if he can make a move.
Space out. Space out. Alright. Going green. Green.
Of course, on board with Husky here. He's got one to his outside. He's going to try and make a move to Husky's outside. Not going to work, though. Of course, Medic and Husky were pretty much side by side most of this race. They've been around each other. And both of them will go uncontested through the infield section for the most part, bar turn 1 where Medic was side by side with someone very briefly. Of course, now on to the back stretch. Could get a good slipstream here, maybe use a little bit of overtake, make the pass, probably out of turn 1 of the oval, or sorry, turn 2. Side by side, and that's going to be a clean overtake before the chicane even happens. Love to see it. Medic might have an answer, sorry, Husky might have an answer here, but it doesn't look like he will. Medic runs a little wide. I see a sign there on the track.
Oh, Bush around. Oh.
Huge spin there from Bush. A lot of smoke. Makes it hard to see for the drivers behind. Lucky that there wasn't a bigger incident there.
I'm going to say keep it green.
Husky making a huge dive down the inside, forcing Medic wide.
Everyone else saved it, so I'm keeping it green.
Husky now in the lead. The bold move, though, kind of just pushed him out the way. Said it was my corner, I'm in the inside, and what happens to you is irrelevant. Top 3 very close together here. As Husky now gets run wide. It sounds to be another spin, 2 cars around.
That's another caution.
Another caution, not making it very far. We had Hines, Rampage, and Medic as our top 3. Drivers couldn't keep it together there. Very unfortunate. I don't expect any of them to be pitting here unless, of course, the tires were burned out from the spins they had. So you've got to wonder if anyone's going to come in here. I know we had a few spins.
Pit road is open once again.
Only 13 laps into this race. Of course, our cautions are a lot quicker than you might see in something like NASCAR. We've got a very good team here that cleans up the debris really quickly. Of course, cars usually don't get beached, so it's not really much of an issue. Oh, Medic tried to deke him out, and
oh, we got one.
We got one. Outlaw decided not to. He could have gone behind and you know, still started in last place, only giving up one position here. Or what are we thinking here? Of course, putting on the Firestone tires. Did we have 4 tires stopped? Is he going to get fuel as well? I'd imagine so. No. It's going on the softs as well. So maybe more of an aggressive outlook here from Pokemon, who has not had the best of races so far. Of course, we have Hines, then Rampage, then Medic, Husky, Bush Brothers fan, Outlaw, and Pokemon. We've seen a lot of the leaders shuffled back here. You know, it seems whoever gets in first place kind of just gets moved out the way, and then someone else takes over, and then you never really get a chance to
start spacing out.
Long. Of course, going into the restart zone now. Gonna watch the front too. Hopefully nothing too crazy happens in the back.
Green flag.
And the green flag is here once again. Mora quick to make a move around the outside going into turn 1. Medic might try and take advantage of the craziness here. Not quite. Everything holds stern, but Medic's gonna get passed by Husky and maybe even Bush Brothers fan. And Pokemon's around the outside of him. He just lost almost all of his track position. Pokemon goes wide, so that's obviously not going to work. But Medic now back into 5th after just not the best of restarts there. I mean, then again, we know he has the pace to get up there and lead laps, as looks like Outlaw's off. And parked it there for quite a little bit of time.
Single car, keep it green.
So now it's Hines and Rampage here at the front of the field. Rampage running a little wide there. Of course, we have got Bush Brothers and Husky side by side here. Expect Bush Brothers fans on the bottom to kind of get a better way around the track here, but I think Husky might go for it down in a turn 1. Maybe push him up towards the leaders. It's going to be Bush Brothers fans making a move on Hines around the outside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Doesn't look like it. He might still be there, though. He is. He's going to be around the outside again after the kink. Can these two hold it together? We don't want any more incidents. Bush Brothers fans still holding, and just not going to make it work that time. Of course, just couldn't get the inside Had to make the move, though. Goes wide. Seems like it's more of a battle for second right now than it is for first, as we've got the battle for fourth happening right on behind them. Medic and Husky going at it. I don't think Medic's going to exactly make a move into the chicane, but he's going to try it anyway. He's going to make it stick and run into the back of Hines and lose all his track position.
He gets caught in the grass with that move. Medic,
just
that's
not exactly what you want to see.
So keep it green.
Hines now, after getting caught into the chicane last lap, trying to make a move inside of Husky. It's gonna make it stick barely. A little bit of a tank slapper there, it looked like. It's quite the gaggle of cars from third on back, kind of encroaching on first place as Rampage gets into the back of Bush Brothers fans. It looked like just a little bit there. Maybe it was just a wiggle. Rampage looking inside, looking outside. Not gonna stick though. Of course, Bush Brothers fan runs wide, and Rampage is gonna take the lead. Maybe a little bit of a squeeze there on the outside. I don't know how Bush Brothers fans gonna appreciate that. But of course, Bush Brothers fans is going to have the slipstream going into the chicane, which we know is working quite well for whoever's in second place. But I think it was just a little too close to the rear to get a very big run. So they're definitely going to be side by side here, as we're going to see another bold overtake attempt. This usually ends bad for someone. Who's it going to be this time? Bush Brothers fans backs out of it. Very wise decision. He's going to be able to keep second place, or at least not drop down to fifth or sixth. Hines now looking at Bush Brothers fan as he had to back out, of course, in the chicane. And momentum is a very important thing here around Daytona. Side by side for the lead going into turn one. This is what you like to see. Rampage on the inside. And Bush Brothers fan runs wide into the grass.
Bush goes
Hines
wide.
runs into the back of him. And there's a spin.
Husky. Oh. Oh, I don't.
That is a rough series of events for Husky.
Man. Okay. I'm going to say, since Bush spun out and caused another wreck, I'm going to say caution.
Another caution comes out after that spin. A little bit of a delay there. Must have been a tough decision. Of course, pit road's going to be open this time by. I wonder if we're going to have any takers. Last time we did, we had one, which was Pokemon. Wonder if he might stay out. As well, we must also talk about everyone else, because everyone else did not come down last time. So we could see a world where Pokemon stays out, takes the lead, and everyone else goes in.
You heard it from Tempin, pit road is open.
Looks like Outlaws dropped out of the race. Wonder if that was a mechanical issue or not. Let's see who's coming, who's going. Yep. Outlaw not very happy. Has some rather choice words in the chat. Of course, pardon anyone's language. See who's gonna bite here. Mora's looking like he's gonna go. Is he gonna fake it? Yes, he is. And no one wants to. Oh, except for Husky. Husky's going in. He was on softs. He's got 71 fuel. Let's see what he comes out here with. It's kind of interesting considering how slow the drivers are going and how pit road is shaped, pit road just barely comes out behind the pack. Of course, 4 tires is going to take fuel as well. Might as well while you're back here. Yep, he is. Only up to 80 though. I know a lot of these guys have got to be getting frustrated at some point. Some of these guys have not had the best day, not the best restarts. A lot of beating and banging, lots of incidents. You know, there's going to be people that aren't happy with certain other people at the end of the day. Of course, not even halfway there yet. Let's see what Rampage has to say now. Rampage, how you doing?
Hey,
Of course, you have the lead now. What's the strategy you reckon from this point on? Is it go long, see how long you can take it, and hope for no more cautions, or how have the tires been playing out?
well, it's still early in the race. There could be a lot of cautions. They could really help or just really mess it up for me. But I think my main plan here is just to keep, you know, a reasonable gap between P2, and yeah, see if I can hold them off if they try to attack.
A lot of defensive driving, I guess.
Everyone can go
Yeah.
ahead and double up now. Or no, not double up, sorry. Space out.
Alright, well, good luck on the restart.
All right, thank you.
Heading up to the Geico restart zone now. We'll see when Rampage decides to jump here. So he's going to wait quite late into the restart zone. Interesting strategy, of course.
Close to Hines there.
Of course, the longer you wait, the less of a run they get into turn 1. So it kind of makes sense to wait all the way through. Bush making a move now on Hines, going around the outside. Might clear him on the exit. Yes, he will. Medic making quick work of Hines. Hines has really fallen off this restart. Not exactly what you want to see, just a slow start. Could be on the mediums, though. That would make a difference. Oh, Rampage running wide. Still has the lead, though. Maybe see him try and break the slipstream here just a little bit, because Bush Brothers fans, I'm sure, is going to be hard charging. Does he want the inside? Does he want the outside? Bush takes the inside. Just barely doesn't have his nose in there. He's going to stay there to avoid brake checking. Runs a little wide there, but relatively clean, and Rampage continues on with his rampage. Hoping at some point we can get to a more stable part of the race. I want to see some green flag pit stops today. Medic now making his claim for second place around the outside. Not going to work. We have a car running wide in the back. It's Hines. Medic's move won't work. Bush Brothers, though, is going to try a move to the inside of Rampage and is going to make it mostly stick. I think they're still side by side. They are. Rampage probably uses a bit of overtake there to take back the lead. He's going to run even harder. Bush gets in the back of Rampage.
Rampage and Bush going wide.
Hate to see it. They're both going to be at the back now. So the two leaders go from first to last. And now Medic is the beneficiary of the chaos. Usually he's been caught out by it today.
Not Yoshi. That's. I'm not in this race.
Medic finally getting some daylight, and the second and third are fighting behind him. He can probably build quite the gap here and take control of this race, barring a caution.
Keep it green, keep it green. I forgot to make that announcement.
Quite the gap to first place. You wonder to see if these guys are going to work together or not, as it seems like Husky's been left out to dry by everyone else. Some old school Daytona racing as we get some collisions there as Pokemon just absolutely
Medic ran
sends
wide.
Medic.
Oh no.
And now Husky goes from last to first in one corner.
3 wide.
3 wide behind Husky. As
Oh no.
Bush is around.
Bush is around.
Medic
Did Pokemon
seemed to
get
do what
collected?
Pokey.
I didn't see that.
No, Pokey's still going.
Oh.
Medic seemed to do exactly what happened to
Okay,
him in
yes,
turn
that's
1.
A caution. Caution's out. Caution's out.
Caution comes out as soon as Medic takes the lead, as Bush Brothers fan and Pokemon get tangled up in incidents. A little aggressive on the early laps of this race. It looked like Medic was going to pull away with one there, and everyone started working together, and they all caught him at pace. And Pokemon, I'm assuming, just had nowhere to go and just sent it and sent Medic off the track. Of course, it doesn't really matter now because Medic still got the lead, but that's got to weigh on his conscience a little bit. You know, that's about the 3rd or 4th time he's been dive bombed that I've even seen, and
there is too
rough.
much talking going on. Whoever's calling my name, I can barely hear them. Hold up, I gotta mute some people. Hold up. Pit road's open, but okay. Who's calling my name? Is it Ambrose? Who is it?
So, of course, we must ask the same question as we always do. Who will go and who will stay? It looks like Husky doesn't really want to go as he's all the way up by the wall.
Pit road's open.
Medic doesn't look like he's biting. He's done this every single time. It's too tough to tell. And it looks like Pokemon will go. But that's about it. Seems to be a pretty common strategy. If you're in the back, get fresh tires, get fuel. Doesn't look like anyone else wants to. I'm especially not surprised that Medic didn't want to, considering every time he's at the back, he's not been able to work his way up, keeps on getting incidents, and even when he's at the front, he's still getting incidents. Everyone seems to want to send it on him. Driver's very, very squirrely, I guess.
Husky, you were ahead of Bush, weren't you?
Let's see if we can get Pokemon on the radio. Pokemon, how you doing? What was the thought process behind pitting there? No one else seemed to want to go but you. Alright, that seems like you're going just tires only from now on?
Yeah, tires only.
Alright, going all the way. Well, best of luck to you.
We're doing pretty good right now.
Alrighty. Well, Pokemon seems to
Yep,
like
you
his
heard it.
strategy.
Start spacing out. Start spacing out.
See how that plays out in the restart. Thank you, Pokemon.
Green flag.
Alright, green flag underway. AMS Medic and Hines seem to have a big gap between them and Rampage. Hey, Rampage, just not trying to tempt fate a little bit. Want some space. Husky getting a little loose there.
Husky
Pokemon's
got
able
loose.
to
He
avoid
saved it
him.
though. Oh, great
Hines.
check from Hines. Oh,
Ooh, big incident as
Rampage.
Rampage now
Oh,
goes from
Bush
third to
spins
last.
as well. Keep it green. Keep it green.
So Medic's got little under 4.5 tenths of a gap between him and Hines. So Hines could very easily go for a move here, but you've also got to remember behind them, third and fourth are fighting, 1 and 2. There's a 1.4 second gap. So they could very easily just keep it clean and kind of run away with this race and see if they can get a bunch of cars separated and then kind of go at it by themselves. So of course, if Hines thinks that he can challenge Medic and Medic is fast enough to keep Hines from, passing just outright. Which it's going to be hard to do with this slipstream, as it looks like Hines chooses not to go for it there. Will he go for it this time? Yes, he will. Side by side, down the front stretch into turn 1. Let's see what happens. Hines on the outside, Medic on the inside. No good from Hines there. Just can't make it work. And just with that one fight, it went from 1.4 to 0.5 of a second. 5 tenths now the difference between second to third. 2 tenths the difference between first and second. Hines opts not to make a move there. That would have been quite bold, trying to keep it a little cleaner than it's been most of the day so far. As I think finally we have some single file action. It looks like Husky's had
Husky in the
an
grass.
incident.
Looks like it's just one. Oh.
Seems like we finally had a bit of a single file moment in the race. Looks like Rampage and Pokemon are going at it, but other than that, everyone's being quite cordial with one another. Until now, because Hines says, screw that, I want the lead. And it looks like he might get it as they're side by side. Medic probably using a little bit of overtake to stay side by side as he's got the inside. And they collide a little bit, tire bang, and Medic's going to keep the lead there. Aggressive move to keep it, but it worked. As it looks like Husky's already caught back up from the mistake he made earlier.
Husky gets loose again, but he saves it, so that's single car either way.
Husky and Bush Brothers fans exchange positions there going into the chicane. Looks like
Pokemon, that's a warning. Don't push Rampage that far into the grass.
as the sun goes down, the tempers seem to go up. Little over halfway in this race now. And we're going to see how the track temps change and how the cars handle going into the nighttime. Of course, these cars don't have lights. They rely purely just on the lights that the track provide to see in the dark. Husky now works his way up to 5th from last with that.
And this time I
ahead.
only set it to 4x, so imagine if it stayed at 15x like last race.
Would have been a very dark one. Oh, Medic! Bit of a squabble there. See if Bush Brothers fan can capitalize on that. He got quite the run. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if he wants to make a move into the chicane. Seems like that's been death for at least one person. I think the outside's where you want to be, but Bush Brothers fan's going to go for it anyway, and Medic's going to back out. I think Medic might be confident in his abilities to take the lead back. But he's got a very, very hungry cars behind him, so we'll see how that works, because they're quite aggressive back there. And it looks like they're reeling him in more than he's reeling Bush Brothers in. But he's going to make a move around the outside and maybe even fully take the lead back. It looks like Rampage is going to get into Bush and Medic just a little bit there. Medic runs wide and Bush is going to keep the lead out of that exchange. Very impressive. Kind of worked out for Bush there. Kind of let it all happen. But Medic's going to take the lead back anyway going into turn 3. On the kick down. Medic finally has the lead back, which I'm sure he's happy to see.
2 cars off, Pokemon and Husky. That's a caution.
Caution is out as Husky and Pokemon have a collision
Slow down
at
to
the back
80.
of the pack again.
Pit road is open.
So if what Pokemon said is true, and he can go to the end of the race and no one else can, would you expect everyone to come down and get fuel and go to the end of the race as well and just take tires for the rest of the day? Or do you think they've got their own plan and Pokemon's just kind of gone off by himself?
Medic speed up. Yes. I've seen quite a few drivers these overtake. I'm not gonna name names, but yes.
Wonder how they all are on their gauges. Of course, that might be the deciding factor. Whoever saves the most at the end is going to have the most pace. Now we get to see how everyone fares.
Pit road is open.
Looks like Hines is going in, and so is Rampage.
Don't know what happened to Medic. Looks like his internet cut out.
Oh, Medic's gone.
DNF from Medic.
That's going to be rough. A DNF for Medic. We don't want to see that, especially out of someone who's been leading the race quite consistently. Of course, the race of attrition and engine failures are certainly not what you want to see.
Our points leader is now out of the race.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for the point standings, as Bush Brothers fan is in first now, who's second place in the standings, so we might very easily have a new leader at the end of the day here. you hate to see someone go out of the race like that, but when your car is getting banged up as much as it is, it's kind of not surprising that there's going to be a failure on it. Of course, none of that by his choice, but two drivers out of the race at this point. Starting to get a little worried for everyone else.
Internet. So now only it's 4:24 CST.
Of course, restart's now going to happen after the pit stops. There's still that sign out there. In the chicane, a few cones kicked around. Drivers running wide and incidents happening.
Medic saying that it was because. Okay, space out, guys. Forgot to say that. Space out. Space out. Husky Pokemon, space out. Space out.
Looks like the drivers don't want to listen.
Green flag.
Pokemon now working its way up to third after, well, previously being in sixth. Of course, that being because two cars pitted. And he's already shoveled his way back to last place. He kind of struggled here today.
Looks like we might not have many drivers finishing this race. Two drivers are already DNF. Might have a third.
You hate to see it, but I mean, it's been a race of attrition all day. Least mistakes wins, and well, internet isn't exactly a mistake, but stuff happens. Bush Brothers fans already working a 1 second gap to second place, as Husky and Rampage look like they're going to go at it here in a second. Husky runs
Husky
quite
don't
wide.
cut the track that much. That was a very big.
Rampage already working himself back up to Husky even after that large incident there, which, well, gained Husky some time, of course. As Rampage is going to go around the outside trying to make a move work as sparks are flying, and it's not going to work. He just outbrakes himself too deep into the corner. Yeah, it's not going to work. He might lose some positions here. Pokemon making a move on Hines. Looks like Medic's official statement is that it was just too hot in the car and for safety reasons had to leave. Retired the car by choice. The start finish line, who's going to have the lead going into lap 32? It looks like it's going to be Rampage But Husky's going to send one up the inside of Bush Brothers fan and probably lose them both positions, as now it's Hines. It's Hines in second. Once again, one of those huge back of the pack to front of the pack moves that we've seen at least 2 or 3 times today. You know, that's what happens when you've got a huge collision of cars. But Hines is immediately going to throw it away and get himself in the grass, run wide, and now he's back in last place. Just as quick as you can gain a bunch of positions, you can lose them. As now Rampage, who particularly looked good in practice, is clear by 1.2 seconds, and if these guys keep fighting, they might lose him completely.
As Pokemon says it, Thunder is outside his house, lurking.
Hate to see another dropout due to a power outage or something. Husky now on the outside. Can he make that work? Pokemon, what a move! If I saw that correctly, Pokemon is fighting for first place. Around the outside, can he make it work? A little bit of a tap from Husky there as he's on the outside of Rampage. As Bush Brother fans, huge spin into the grass.
Bush spins,
all by himself.
Another one car. Lost a lot of time. Okay. Oh, green. Oh, there goes Husky.
Husky keeps it under control. They should be able to make pace and catch back up. I reckon, especially if the cars keep fighting the way they do, it won't be but
Husky also loses time.
Pokemon trying to fight for second place here. Trying to hold it. Maybe convince Hines to work with him and not against him to get back up to first place, as there is quite the gap there.
Looks like Pokemon
might have another shot at the lead here going into turn 1. Let's see if he can make it stick. You know, that black and white car under the lights looks a little bit better than in the daytime, I won't lie. Not gonna work, and in the process loses a place. That's not what you want to see. Husky's already caught back up, and Bush Brothers fan seems to be making good time as well. Oh, Pokemon wide. Well, that's already one position for Bush Brothers fans. He's gained almost 2 seconds on the pack in front in just the infield section alone. And on pace for a new fastest lap. You got to be wondering, is he draining his overtake right now? A little under 20 to go now. I wouldn't exactly say it's go time for the rest of the drivers, but
you'll get DNF points, Pokemon, even if you leave.
You might start to see things ramp up a little bit, but I don't expect dumping of overtake just quite yet. I think it's a bit premature. Hines around the outside of Rampage. Can't make it work. He might try again, though. Maybe dive towards the inside. Not quite. Hines will hold. Ooh, got on the grass there. Bit of an incident. Bush Brothers fan is potentially going to make a move, probably down the back stretch if I had to guess. Unless Hines can catch back up to Rampage and get a little bit of a slipstream. But right now, I think he's lost it. Now it's going to be a battle for second place between these two lovely drivers in lovely cars. As the pack is all bunched up again. Only 1.5 seconds separating. Bush Brothers fans got to be smelling blood in the water after Medic's DNF. You know, having the point standings lead after finishing second last week would be quite huge. Would be quite the statement, I'd say, if he can take the lead from Rampage and run away with it. But no one has been able to run away with it, unfortunately. We just have not seen anyone just. You know, once they get the gap, everyone works together, pushes them right back up to the leader. And, you know, no one is able to pull away. No one's able to get anything done. See, Bush Brothers fan down the inside of Rampage. Rampage probably going to back out here, as that was smoothly done by both of them. But Rampage kind of slows up. It looks like Hines there. It's not going to matter, though. Hines could have probably taken advantage of the slow up if it weren't for the blocking there. Not intentionally, of course, but 3 wide.
3 wide!
In the tri-oval for just a second there. Kind of scary. We're going to see the Dr. Pepper car of Hines attempt to make a move here, as it looks like he's still side by side with one of them. Hard to tell with some of the camera angles, especially in the darkness now as we fade into night, or deeper into the night, I should say. Rampage and Husky. Nothing there. Husky might try and look on the inside. He does. A little bit of a wheel bang. That's going to send Rampage off into the grass.
Husky shoving Rampage.
Little bit of a tire bang there, and that's all you really need to send someone off now. Which Bush Brothers fan with the fastest lap of 124.9, which is by far no one's even close to that, I don't think. Not even.
Pokemon, another single car. He's gonna lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's quite a big spin. You don't want to be making any mistakes there. Talked about that pre-race. You just do not want to make a mistake in that chicane, because you will go sliding for quite some time.
Unfortunately as well, that's a single car.
Oh, there's one or two cars, tires squealing. You gotta be wondering what the tires situation's looking like now. Closing in on the end. These guys have been on these tires for quite some time. Haven't really
Keep
needed
in
to
mind,
have...
you can do green flag pit stop.
Haven't really had the opportunity to do green flag pit stops, is what I was going to say. Is it looks like someone's either using overtake or is out of it. Rampage? I think Rampage might be low on overtake. His light is red. And with so many laps to go already, we're gonna have to wonder if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I would also like to say thanks to all the drivers for not cutting the chicane. Pretty clean racing so far.
Rampage and Hines going at it once more. We've been able to see some very aggressive moves into the first corner here. Some very deep lunges that, I mean, one car can stay on, but usually with that type of lunge, you don't see both of them stay on. Hines trying to gain some time on Bush here, as well as Rampage, kind of gaining equally with one another. It looks like Hines got a really good run out of the chicane there, and might be able to make a move here before even the checkered flag. As we might even be 3 wide, not quite, but Hines is going to make the move as well as Rampage, so Butch Brothers loses 2 positions there, and now Rampage wants to lead for himself as well. Quite the shallow angle. I don't know if the run's out is going to be good enough. It's not, but he's going to hold position. But Bush Brothers doesn't really like the fact that he lost both his positions. He's going to fight for it. Not quite going to work. Maybe saving overtake for a later time. Doesn't seem very rushed in his methods right now as we're closing in on 10 laps to go. Only 13 left. Well, they kind of cleaned up their act here. I haven't seen a caution in a while. Maybe it was just losing 1 or 2 cars extra that helped them out a little bit. Clean things up, more track space. Yeah, it's hard to run clean for all those laps when you've got everyone bunched up, 7 cars bunched up all on top of each other.
Hines catches the barrier.
Oh, we've been talking about that. Not as much time lost as Pokemon for sure, but
Another single car.
only down to 3 in the lead pack for now. The more cars, the more cars that lose the lead pack, the better the situation gets for the leader, Rampage. Because that's one less car that can push everyone else up to the front. If they aren't working together. So if Bush Brothers fan wants this win, he's going to have to do it on pace. I don't think there's going to be a lot of help he can get. He's going to clear him. with no struggles there, but Rampage is going to fight back into turn 1. Not quite going to make it work. Seemed to break a little bit harder than Bush Brothers did. Bush Brothers carried the speed through the corner much better there. But Rampage is just going to send one, try and block him off. Doesn't work, and Bush Brothers gets to switch back. Lovely move by Bush Brothers fan there. Rampage is the only car with a red light up upon their head. I wonder what must be going on with their strategy right now that led them to the point where they've kind of used up most, if not all, their overtake already. Oh, Rampage, I think, nearly
Pokemon
gets on
has
the wall
reduced
there.
that lap, that time,
Yeah, that has
10
been a little bit
seconds to
fun.
6. Side by side between Bush and Rampage.
Bush looks to be the victor once again, but we might see the same move that happened last lap again. And we will...
Rampage looking to
Rampage
pass.
kind of backs out of it there, realizes it's probably not the best move there. You must be wondering how much overtake is Pokemon using right now to catch back up to the pack. You know, it's one thing to catch up, it's another thing to pass, and if he's got no ever... Oh, Bush
goes
Brothers fan runs
wide.
wide. He might even lose second here. Looks like he will. Husky's going to have to go around the outside. It might be a little difficult. They keep it relatively clean. Husky gets kind of run wide a little bit, and Husky will fall back into third. As that's going to allow Pokemon to gain even more, even farther.
Lap.
Rampage is kind of...
Quick announcement for the drivers. Lap 50 is the last lap for a caution. After that, there are no cautions.
Rampage and Bush Brothers fan have kind of dominated this race after the recent, or not so recent, DNFs of our two drivers.
Bush
around for his
car
spin.
saves it.
I gotta stop talking
green.
about these guys.
It's a single car.
Rampage clear by over a second now, it looks like.
Looks like drivers now starting to feel, oh, now Husky around collects Pokemon. They save it though. Keep it green.
Might start to worry a little bit that Rampage might get away with one here if Hines can't bring the gap down and kind of bridge everyone along. But I think Bush Brothers fan and Hines have the pace. It's just going to be difficult to pass. Bush Brothers fans able to work up from the mistake earlier quite easily. We've been seeing that a lot. The cars in the pack are running quite slower than a single car would or could. Hence why Pokemon is able to catch up, Husky's been able to catch up, Bush Brothers fans been able to catch up. It seems like almost every single car once today has had to catch up from someone else. So we see the plane going landing on the background. Oh, a little bit of a tank slapper there between Hines and Husky. Hines kind of collides with him because they go through the kink side by side roughly. Looks like Husky's gonna get third place all to himself now as Pokemon sends it up the inside of Hines, and Hines is in the grass. Hines is not gonna be happy about that. I mean, he's been running solid middle of the pack, upper middle of the pack.
Car.
And to be out of it now with only a few laps to go, you've got to wonder, can he bridge that gap back? Can he get that gap back to what it was? Can he get his positions back? And I don't want to think about what would happen to Pokemon if he did get back to him and had the opportunity to do something. I know I would not be happy, especially if that's been a repeat offense, which I don't know if it has been, but regardless, I would not be happy with this late in the race being bumped wide. Rampage getting a little bit of a tank slapper there, it looked like. Bush Brothers fans might be able to take advantage of this going into the chicane. It's whether or not he wants to, that's the question. And he won't. Husky down the inside of Bush Brothers fan. Bush Brothers runs a little wide, puts two tires over the white line, and might be able to hold on to it if he sends it. And it looks like he will, depending on the run he gets. Still side by side, it looks like. Yes, it is. They might fight for the whole infield section here. Will Bush Brothers send it back up the inside? No, but Hines is thinking about an outside move. Not quite. Bush Brother, once again, a little bit of a slide there. Car's starting to struggle for traction. You wonder if there's a caution now if they'd get tires. Well, 3 cars running wide there. That's not what you want to see. It's hard to tell who's going to win this, but Rampage has been holding on to the lead for quite some time now. And I don't think he's planning on giving it up anytime soon. Unless Husky has something to say about it, as he just sends one up the inside, kind of bumps him wide, and now Rampage is fighting for 4th. He's going to get ran wide again. He's going to be in 5th. First to last in the matter of 2 corners. That's got to be rough. Now Husky with the advantage, a 1 second advantage. As the laps start to close, you've also got to think, can these guys justify working together for an attempt at a win? Or are these guys just every man for themselves now? It's hard to work together with guys you've been roughing up all race, I'll tell you that much. Looks like Rampage worked his way up to 3rd, trying to fight for 2nd here, and like Hines ran wide there. I don't know if he overtook when he ran wide or not, but he was in a heated battle with Pokemon. As we see another heated battle, Bush Brothers to the lead. Side by side.
Alright, guys. Last lap for a caution.
Things are going to start to get dicey here in a second, I promise you. It's like Rampage runs Husky wide. I wonder if that had anything to do with a previous incident or maybe just a mistake. But it's going to be hard for Rampage to pass Bush Brothers fan when he is out of overtake. I don't know how much everyone else has, but I'm sure Bush Brothers has plenty to use. Bush Brothers, of course, has looked very nice through practice, qualifying, and the race. Same with Rampage. So it's not surprising to see these two 1st and 2nd once again when it comes to the end of the race. Looking to the inside. A little bit of a tap there. That could have been dangerous. Around the outside for Rampage. Brakes very late, but he's able to control it and, well, maintain momentum around the outside and keep good pace on exit. Bush Brothers fan won't even have a shot back in the next corner.
No more cautions.
More. Rampage runs quite wide there. Probably lost a little bit of time, probably about half a tenth to a tenth. Don't want to see that late in the race. I know the pressure is starting to get on, but you gotta keep clean. You can't make a mistake now. There won't be any cautions to save you. If there's one thing we can say, unless Catastrophic Event Pokemon looks to be out of it 5 seconds back, the real question is, will Bush Brothers fan be able to mount a charge? Only 4/10 back. We'll have plenty of slipstream here and the overtake advantage. Of course, he also has the fastest lap. They're going to be side by side as they cross the start-finish line, but Bush Brothers fans not quite alongside enough. See if he can make it work. It looks like he just got ran real wide. He's going to be fighting for third now instead of fighting for first after that mistake. Now, 0.8 seconds. These guys keep fighting. They're not going to be able to fight for a win. Husky, Bush, side by side. Going onto the back straightaway. They've got to make up their minds because Rampage is running away. 1.1 seconds to the leader now. If there's one thing for sure, Rampage has dominated the second half of this race. Ooh, Bush Brothers runs very wide there. Getting on the grass, he's going to be slow. Got a little tap there from Hines to get him back up to speed here. Maybe they're going to start working together. They only have this last lap we're running up on here to make something happen. It looks like they're all working together to push Husky to the lead. Final lap now, no cautions. Better make it stick.
To go.
Husky's going to take the lead into turn one. Husky and Rampage both get loose. Can Bush Brothers capitalize? Not quite. Rampage surely wants to fight for this lead. He's been holding on to it this whole race as there's only 2 cars left now with overtake. Bush Brothers fans, Husky and Rampage, the top 3. Going into one of the last few corners on the infield section, Husky and Bush Brothers fans seem to be more at each other's throats than they are at Rampage.
In the grass. Hines.
Someone's got to get something done, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's into the chicane. They've got to dump everything they have here or after. Husky looks to the inside of the chicane. He might make the pass before it. He will. Bush Brothers goes in the inside. Bush Brothers.
Rampage
gets loose. Rampage in the grass.
Into the grass.
Into the grass. It's Husky all by himself. Can Bush Brothers make the move on the last lap with the little bit of overtake he has left and the slipstream? It doesn't look likely. It looks improbable. Husky is going to win.
Is going to win at the Daytona Road Course
in fantastic fashion.
Congratulations.
That's it. Husky is your Bud Light Grand Prix at Daytona victor after 53 hard, difficult laps. He comes out as the winner. Rampage dominated the second half of that race. I thought it was going to be between Bush Brothers and Rampage. They just completely collapsed at the end there. That is really rough to see. But Husky, regardless, deserves the win. Let's see if we can get on with our winner here.
Thank you, Bush and Tenpin, for streaming that.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll get this. I'll have the stats out later this afternoon for league changes and laps.
Obviously, thank you to Tenpin for commentating, and Ambrose. I think.
I will
have
you
commentating that
video. What?
Ambrose. Okay. But yes, thank you, Tenpin.
Hey, the question: how did I do with commenting, by the way?
Good.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't think I was going to win that race.
No, you
I thought
did.
I was just going to be good enough to pushing third, maybe fourth.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you. What was your thoughts going on the last lap there?
Pretty much hang with the pack and take advantage of any mistakes that were made. And it
It
fell
worked
into my
out for
lap
you.
right at the chicane.
Yeah. Got to take advantage of desperation, I guess. That was a very good fight for the win there. You know, I don't know how many laps you led, but, you know, all that matters is the last one, isn't it?
I'm
Led
gonna
a couple,
leave,
that's for
but that was
that's
an
for sure.
amazing
But
race. Thank you,
final
everyone.
one is the one you want to be in front.
Yep. Well, congratulations on the win. Hopefully you've got something to celebrate.
Definitely. After how last weekend, and you weren't here, I got wrecked on the last lap on the lead. So redemption for last week.
Yep. Hopefully this reflects very well in the point standings for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, good stuff, guys. Need to go let that run now.
No.
Record the...
I know I didn't until after qualifying.
The overtake still.
Yeah, like there's no way he didn't. Like as if he had the option to use it, he would.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was saying the entire time. I thought I was gonna need to pit. I was thinking about pitting for tires because my
Oh, yeah,
right
I have a
rear
video
was.
if you want to see it real quick.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were struggling out there on tires.
You're going to do a share. Yeah, well. Oh, okay. You have it up. Look, right. That's cool. Let's see.
I had the momentum, man. Come on.
I had the momentum going off of fucking Tata 2. The oval turn 2.
Husky, tell me when you're able to see it.
I can see it.
Look, dude, I had the momentum. I caught up to your guys' ass.
And oh, you got cock blocked. Oh, that's rough.
Go from like Rampage's view on the final lap.
It's like on the grass and just couldn't get a hold of it. That's rough.
I got cock blocked, man.
By Bush, yeah. That's rough.
Because you can see I had the momentum to pass everyone.
And you just gave it all to Bush, and Bush couldn't do anything with it even.
Yeah, because he didn't even have the overtake map.
Oh my god, his fucking right rear was.
Yeah, dude, whoa. I mean, everyone's was, but you might have had the best.
Yeah, like Paz just goes to the entire field. Paz goes to the entire field with their right rear. Holy shit. Okay, there's me. Bush has the worst.
Pokemon's... I think Pokemon pitted.
I think.
But, yeah, you were...
Yeah, I think I'd like the second worst tire wear.
Yeah. I think Pokemon definitely had the most pit stops.
No, because it's honest. Like, I didn't have to pay anymore.
He didn't have... Yeah, that's true. He did not have to pit.
Because you can see my fuel was okay down to the end. I had the least amount of fuel. Wait, man. Come on.
Well, they probably were running lower engine modes. You were able to run higher engine modes than they were towards the end. I mean, Rampage has half his tank.
Half his tank.
Half the tank is not how you want to finish the race, I'm pretty sure.
Quarter. half of the tank and then like less than a quarter. The least amount of fuel was me, and then Husky had the second least amount.
What a finish. That would have been crazy if you'd have kept your momentum and then get blocked by Bush.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, gotta thank the stream people for watching and stuff. Thank you guys. I'm gonna thank myself for no reason. Thank the drivers for putting on a good show, and thanks for allowing me to be on.